Tuesday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. The one thing about the lighting in this room, I will say, it does show up my gray sparkle a little bit better than being downstairs. So, as Nicholas says, boy, Mom, you have a lot of gray hair now. And I say, yeah, it's funny what happens when you can't go to the hairdresser. Oh well. No, I don't really care. I would like to go to the hairdresser and get it done, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So you just get to see a little more wisdom. Yes, look, ta-da! I cleared out the bookshelf. And to be clear, many of you commented yesterday that you have, of course, hoped that the children, especially Nicholas, was going to be helping me with this project. And of course he is. It's simply that, you know, I think of myself as, well, I can't think of myself, I am in charge, because someone has to make the decisions on all of these things that need going through and sorting and cleaning and tidying and getting rid of and recycled and all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of a difficult thing for a 12-year-old mini me. He is his habits are very much like mine. So in order for us to stay focused, we set our timer, we work together, and he has been working in his room. So his bookshelf is now almost complete, and everything that was in this bookshelf has been dealt with. I have one more stack of books that I have to go through, and that's it. And let me show you. The big stack of Lego is gone. The big bin of Lego has been moved into his bedroom. And yeah, it was a lot of Lego, I know. That is also mine and John's Lego combined from our childhoods. So yes, and you know, every birthday and Christmas for the last 10 years at least, he has been receiving Lego. Started out with Duplo, the big blocks, and then he moved into Lego, and he still loves to build Lego, so that's not going anywhere. And even when he's done with it, you know, that's not something that we would get rid of. So, but it has now been moved into his bedroom in a perfect spot, and it looks great. So very pleased with that. So yes, this is done. Now, I had mentioned yesterday that I was going to keep this bookshelf in here. I've changed my mind. The cubbies that I've got downstairs, the IKEA cabinets, the Kallax cabinet that sits behind me in my, what I'm going to now call my old recording place, because moving forward, I'm going to sit in here and record because the lighting is just so much better. And it's going to be my new little home. So from now on, this is where I will record. And so those cubbies are coming up here. This bookshelf, it's not wide enough. It's not deep, sorry, it's not deep enough for what I need for storage purposes. So that's why I can't stay in here. And I'm actually disappointed because I didn't tell you this yesterday, but John actually built these bookshelves. He built these, and there's a matching one downstairs that is wider. It's not deeper, it's wider, and it's a matching set. And he built these for the very first little house that we rented when we lived in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And so they hold great sentimental and useful value for me, and I was really hoping to use it. And it's bolted to the wall, so it's going to be a bit of a trick to remove it, but it's just not, I need storage in here big time, and that it's just not deep enough. So we had a long chat yesterday, John and I, about where things can go, and I think we have a plan. So, you know, I don't want this to take a really long time. I work every day, and I need my space to be conducive to working. So I need to get at this and make the switch quickly. So I hope to be fully moved in here and cleaned and organized and tidied and everything gone through and taken care of, and not just moved from one pile to another pile, like dealt with in a week. I'd like to be done in a week. So that's my goal. So I do have some crafting to share with you today. It's not all sewing moving room excitement. I did work on a few things last night. So I'll share those with you in just a second, because the first thing I need to do before I do that is take care of the giveaway. So I had it was a Pass the Stash chart from last week. It is my most recent finish, which was the Little House Needleworks Warm Winter Woolens. And this chart, I really enjoyed stitching this chart. It was really fun. And I don't remember the exact number of comments. I think it was like 290 some odd comments. The winner, the random number generator chose, and I picked it last night, so I'm sorry I don't remember the numbers, but it was John Clissold, and he was the winner of this pattern. And John is a familiar name to me. He always leaves me really, really wonderful comments. Ooh, that's a funny, there we go. Now we're back in focus. I recognize his name well, and a little hello and shout out to John's mom, who also visits with me and with her son as well. So John, congratulations. Send me your address, message me your address, and I'll pop that in the mail for you. I have a new chart for giveaway today, and it is a Lizzie Kate. It's a Lizzie Kate small snippet. It's called Sisters Forever. So this is the chart up for giveaway this week. You can find this giveaway over on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid. I will post a photo of this, and you just need to leave me a comment on the post in the Facebook group, and then next week I will choose the winner and get it out in the mail. So it is, a sister is a forever friend. So that's the giveaway for this week. I also have, I have a thank you, because I got a little happy mail from Gail, B. She sent me this beautiful card that she made herself. And Gail, I did lose one of the sequins. I still have it. It's downstairs. It fell off when I opened the card. So I will stick it back on, because it's so sweet. So you can see, designed by Gail, 2020. Isn't that cute? These paper crafted cards, I'm always so impressed at how wonderful they look and how nicely they turned out. So Gail made me this beautiful card that was just really, really kind and thoughtful. And thank you, Gail. And she tucked in, Gail knows, my favorite color. That's my favorite color. And this is a skein of Fiberlicious cotton, and Gail had it in her stash. So she has sent me a very special little piece of her stash, which I love. So I am going to save this and add it into a special project. So thank you, Gail. Really made my day. I only check the mail every couple of days now, because we don't tend to get a lot, and the mail has been really slow, so sometimes there's not much point in checking it every day. And so that was a really nice treat to open up yesterday. So Gail, thank you so much. That was really, really kind. Okay, I'm going to show you my sock progress first, because my Christmas sock, I finished all of the gusset decreases. And look at that. It is moving along. So where did my decreases end? Halfway through the red stripe was the finish of the gusset decreases. And then I carried on 2.5 more stripes. In fact, I'm almost done the green stripe. So 3/4 of the green stripe is done. This is a yarn by The Cozy Knitter, who is a Canadian indie dyer, and she specializes in self-striping sock yarn. It is beautiful stuff. This was a Christmas colorway, I think, from a couple of years ago, and I bought it from my friend Dawn's. She destashed it, and so I purchased this from her as a destash, and I love it. I just love it, and I'm finding that knitting stripes, they just go so fast because you can't wait to add the next color. So it's a very satisfying thing to knit. As you can tell, it's going a lot faster than my big gray sock. Now granted, it is a smaller sock than the big gray sock. It's a smaller sock, so it's bound to go faster. However, my interest in it is maybe a little higher because of the striping. So yeah, you know, it's coming along. I use the super simple cuff down sock pattern by my friend Louise Patterson of Wildflower Wool, and it is also the sock pattern that I use in my tutorial videos that you can find on the playlist section of the channel. So that was my knitting for the last couple of days, and then last night, it was late, but I had an hour, and so I got back to work on my ink circles thread and eye mandala, because I really would like to finish this soon. So I completed these two green motifs, and then I also completed I put in a little bit of leftover floss here, and then I'm almost completed this mustard motif over here. So in an hour, 1, 2, almost 3 motifs. So not bad. It's coming along. So yeah, the lighting it's so bright in here that this is showing up. Even if I do that, it's washing it out quite a bit. So if I hold it down, that right there is actually pretty close. Yeah, that is true to color right there. And it is, I love it. I'm excited to finish this. I mentioned that I need to start a small for the Stitch North Smalls Retreat. Smalls Exchange. Info on the retreat. I have read the contract. John, I wanted him to double check the contract because he's much better at reading the fine print, because he's been doing it for his own business for years and years and years. So I just wanted him to confirm everything, and we are likely signing it back and sending it in this afternoon. So I should have the final date. I'm going to announce the final date on Thursday, because tomorrow, July 1st, it's Canada Day, and it's also my next high tea start. And so that's going to be tomorrow. And then I will have confirmation by Thursday of the actual date for the Stitch North retreat that is here in Ontario, Canada. And so I need to start my smalls, because even though the retreat isn't happening in September, we've moved it to the spring. We are still participating. Some of us have signed up. It's now closed, but I think 45 or 46 of us signed up for an exchange. And the way it works is we're basically meeting 2 new friends. So someone is making a small for us, and we are making a small for someone else. And the person I am making a small for is Kimberly H. And I believe her YouTube channel is Notes from My Needle. So she does now know that I am the one making the small for her. So I won't be, don't worry, Kimberly, if you are watching, I'm not going to be saying anything about your small right now. So you don't have to say goodbye just yet. But I do need to get started on her project, the stitching for the small that I am making for her. And I shared what that was last week or the week before. And so I need to get started on that. So that is going to be a new start. And I also have a new start for tomorrow, which is high tea. So that's exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. And I have a lot of work to do in here. And I have some more sewing to do, because my business didn't shut down, so I still need to keep working. So I've got some work to do this afternoon, and then once I wrap up my to-do list for today, it's back up in here, and my next job is to, with Nicholas, clear out this desk. This desk needs to be moved into his room, because even though it's still in here, it does still need to be, it is still his desk that goes with his furniture. So that needs to be moved into his room. And I'm hoping that by the end of the day, I can detach this from the wall and move it downstairs and start the process of moving my IKEA cabinet up here. We'll see. Let's see what I can do. So thank you yesterday for all of the encouragement that you sent my way for my project, and your understanding of what a big project it is. And it was really funny, those of you who said, oh, I wish I lived closer and I could come and help you. Well, let me tell you, I bet if my mother watched yesterday's video, that's how my mother is, I mean, she is the best at organizing and, you know, making things look neat and tidy and perfect. And if she were here, she would not be able to resist. She would basically say, you know, get out of my way, let me at it. So I'm trying to approach this, think like my mother would think. Would she keep that? Would she give it away? So on and so forth. So the one last thing that I just remembered, because it's beside me here. I had a question yesterday about the Winnie the Pooh large middle piece that I stitched for my daughter. Yes, it says July 2001 was when I had it framed and finished. So it was a number of years back, and it probably took me, this I worked on monogamously because I wanted it for, to hang in my daughter's nursery when she was born. And I was pregnant with her when I purchased the materials and started it. This was my very first project on an even weave. It looks like, what does it look like? It looks like a Lugana, I think. And I'm sorry, but somebody left me a question about, they weren't sure they had the right color for the chart. They were working on the same chart and they weren't sure about their color. So they just wanted to see this a little bit closer. And I can tell you, it's so colorful that even if the color that you're using is not exactly the right number that's in the chart, it's probably going to work anyways, because look at all of the different beautiful bright colors that are in the lettering there. I think that even if you don't have the exact number, if you've got something else that looks good with all of the other colors, you can't go wrong. And I apologize that I can't exactly remember your exact question, so I'm hoping that showing you a little bit closer up has answered your question. One thing I can tell you about this piece, looking at it now, almost 20 years after stitching it, you can tell that this was, I mean, I've stitched since I was a teenager, but it wasn't until after I did this about 20 years ago that I really started to take more notice of what I was doing and, you know, think about a few things a little differently. So you can see the, where the leaves are, the black back stitching that, you know, designates, or, you know, it designates, you know, the wind, right? Well, you can tell that I've carried the floss in the back because you can see it through the finished piece, right? So if I were to restitch this, I would be a lot more careful in how I, you know, I would weave my ends in probably on each individually back stitched line and not carry that thread if I was working on a fabric like this again, so that I would be able to hide that. And I'm pretty sure you can see what I'm talking about. You can see it through the fabric, the fact that I carried that black floss. Because of course when you frame it and you put it against something, that sometimes highlights floss that you've carried, and especially when it's a black or a really dark colored floss on a white fabric, it's going to show through. So not carrying threads, I've improved my skill in that area. So, but I still am pretty pleased, and I'm sure one day maybe one of the kids will want to have those in for their own kids. And that's it. That's it. So I better get back to work, and I hope that you're having a great day, and I hope that I'll see you again tomorrow. And that's it for me. Take care. Happy stitching. And thanks again for the encouragement for this room. I'm gonna get there. Take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.